The team at Slate sent me their All Access Pass to try out. Slate plugins are very highly regarded for their superior quality. The All Access Pass has a bunch of mixing plugins, reverbs, and effects, mostly mixing stuff, but they just added new plugins to their bundle, including Anna 2 and Kilohertz. Anna 2 is a powerful plugin which has quite a few unique features. So today, I'm going to take you on a quick tour and show you how I use it in the beat that you're hearing right now. Anna 2 may be familiar to some of you, but Slate has added some new presets and chord progressions which make my song creation easier and faster. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to start by loading up a new preset from the Slate Digital presets. This is one I really like here. It's called Oberheim Waves. All right, so let's talk about the interface a little bit. You've got 3 oscillators here, wavetable oscillators, and it's easy to just choose from some of the presets here. For each one of them, you can cycle through the different oscillators here or up top here as well, and just select something. You can just browse from what's already included. You can change the phase here, the pulse width, some typical controls for the oscillators. Change your oscillator mix down at the bottom. You can just solo the first oscillator. Let's hear that third one. Now you'll notice that you've got 3 more oscillator faders here. What are those for? Well, over on the right side up here, you've got oscillator 4, 5, and 6. And these are sample oscillators. And you can do the same thing here. You can choose from the samples included with Anna 2. Let's just try Juno Noise. So now we've added another oscillator to this sound. Pretty cool, right? I love these warm sounds. But a really cool thing is you can also just drag in your own samples from your sample library. So I've got a bunch of samples here. Got some nice vocal chops. I'm gonna drag in one of those. So we can just drag this. All right, so now I've got that sample loaded up, and here's what that sounds like. You can adjust the loop end, or you can just drag this over. I'll choose that as a loop end. That's a start. We'll add an X fade in there as well. Let's choose that. Let's see what that sounds like. All right, that sounds pretty cool, but I'm gonna lower the octave so we can play the whole thing a little higher. Really cool, right? I've just added 1 sample, but you can add 2 more in addition to this. So in the next row, you've got your typical filters. So you've got cutoff, resonance, your envelope and drive over here. You've got 2 filters to choose from, and then you've got your filter envelope adjustments here, your amp envelope, and your mod. Now, the one on the right here is called G envelope, which is kind of cool because you can actually open this up and you can start creating your own unique envelope here. All right, I'm gonna just load a basic shape. Frown, I love the name of that. And now let's see, the mod destination. I'm actually gonna choose sampler for pan, and let's see what this does. Wow, we're already creating this width and movement in here. It's pretty cool. Of course, you can just modify this however you feel like. Check it out. So at the bottom, you've got macro controls and EQ, and then you've got your LFOs on the right side. Pretty standard stuff. But things get really interesting over here in the middle. You've got EQ, you've got your mod matrix, insert effects, there's reverb and delays, distortion, modulation, dynamics, tons of effects included too. All right, and let's just try out a few other presets that are new. House Grand. Ooh, lo-fi piano. Choose Rainy Days. This is a really cool preset because it actually makes use of the sampler and the ambiance noise rain. So you'll see that you have different ambient noises that you can add. We can change this to water. I like the bamboo chime. So cool. Now, with this guitar preset that we've chosen now, I'm going to show you a really cool feature. We're going to turn strum on, and now I'm going to show you how you can strum the same chord with the mod wheel on your keyboard. Very cool. You know, if there's one thing negative I can say about Anitu, it's that some of the coolest, unique features are hidden in that middle section. In fact, some of the controls that I've been using quite often, even like the oscillator mixer, you got to take a couple clicks to actually get to it. I mean, I guess you can't put everything on the front interface. And anyway, one of my favorite features is CMD, which stands for Chord Memory Device. You can use this feature to program your own chords to single notes, but Slate has added their own chord progressions to get you started. You've got a bunch of different sets for different genres, but I chose for this song the future bass progression that's included with the Slate bundle. All right, so I'm going to click on CMD and I'm just going to choose a preset. Now you can build in your own chords in here, but I'm just going to choose one of the really cool presets that are included with Slate. All right, here's future bass. Now, when I press one finger here, it's actually playing these chord progressions. Wow, doesn't that sound cool? Check out these chords. I love chord sets like these that get you started on a song really fast. I really based this beat on this chord progression alone and then added a few other Anitu presets. Check it out. So for the bass line, I chose Moogie. So that's what the preset sounds like, but I actually added the arpeggiator. For this one, I actually chose one of the presets. I chose a standard bass. I just got rid of a few notes that I didn't want in my bass line. You can add some modulation in here, and here I'm gonna just draw it in. I'm gonna route this over to the filter 1 frequency. Let's do this instead. So now with the chords and the bass line, the next thing I added were these guitar plucks. And here again, all I did is just add this arpeggiator. All right, so check it out with the chords and the bass line. So for the next track I chose, it's not a lead sound. I labeled it lead here, but it's really more like a keys sound. So here's what that sounds like. There's a chorus, ping pong delay, and a plate on it. So here's what it sounds like with the chords, bass, guitar plucks, and this piano sound. Now bringing in the drums. So lastly, I threw in some cool Slate mixing plugins into the mix. Reverb on the piano and muted guitars and a tape machine on the master. I'll put a link to Slate in the description of this video. If you like this video, hit the like button and the subscribe button below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Keep making the music that you love, and I will see you guys later.